We will be learning how to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers. We will describe what mixed numbers and improper fractions are and look at the steps that we need to follow to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers, and then we'll follow the steps to convert some improper fractions to mixed numbers. A mixed number combines a whole number and a proper fraction. A proper fraction is one in which the numerator is less than the denominator, and an improper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is larger than its denominator. Now let's take a look at some division vocabulary. We have the divisor. The divisor is the number used to divide another number. We can see an example here. In this case, 5 is your divisor. Your dividend is the number that is being divided, that is divided by the divisor. You can see 8 here is your dividend. Your quotient is the result of a division, and your remainder is the remainder from the division. You can see your quotient up here and your remainder down here. As we examine the steps, we'll find out why these terms are really important to understand. So let's look at the steps that we follow to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers. We want to first divide the numerator by the denominator and take note of the quotient and the remainder. Remember, the quotient is the result of your division and the remainder is what's left over after your division. And the whole number part of your mixed number is the quotient, and the numerator of the proper fraction is your remainder, and we want to write it in this format. We want to write whole number and then fraction. Let's apply this to some examples. So we have 16 over 7, 16 divided by 7. So let's go ahead and divide 16 by 7. How many groups of 7 do you have in 16? 7 times 2 is 14. So you can see, and 7 times 3 is 21. So 16 is between 14 and 21. So we use the lower number. So 7 times 2 is 14. So we subtract 14 from 16 and we have 2. So now what we have is, we have our quotient, which is 2, our remainder, which is also 2, and then our divisor is 7. So this is what you do. Let's try another example. We have 35 over 8. So let's do that. 35 divided by 8. How many groups of 8 do we get in 35? 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. So we're not at 40 yet, so we're going to use 4. 4 times 8 is 32. So we subtract and we're left with 3. So we have our quotient is the whole number, and then our remainder is the numerator of the proper fraction, and then we have our denominator is 8. Next example, we have 19 divided by 4. So 19 over 4. So what we're going to do is 19 divided by 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. So we're going to use 4 right here. 4 times 4, we have 16. We have a remainder of 3. One thing to note here is, if your remainder is larger than your divisor, then it means you need to go a bit further. It means the number you've chosen as your quotient is too small. So that's one thing to also take note of. So here we have our whole number is 4. Our remainder is 3, and then our divisor is 4. And final example, we have 13 over 11. So we have 13 here, 11. How many groups of 11 do you get in 13? We're going to have just 1. 1 times 11 is 11. You subtract and you're left with 2. So now our whole number is going to be a quotient, which is 1, and then the remainder is the numerator of our proper fraction, and then this is what we have for our mixed number.